Hey everybody, it is Radleigh here with the Angelic Weather Report for November 10th through the 16th. Now, as of the moment of this recording, I literally just got back from speaking at Omega in Rhinebeck, New York. So we'll get to Omega in just a second. I'm obsessed with Rhinebeck, New York. So it's not an easy place to get to. My journey to get to Rhinebeck was fraught with anxiety and one near catastrophe. Um, but it all worked out. And once I got there, I have to tell you, I was absolutely, utterly enchanted. I keep trying to come up with a better word for Rhinebeck, New York, but I just am stuck on enchanting. It was I can't imagine that there's a better time to be in Rhinebeck. I mean, maybe the season of light, Christmas, Hanukkah, stuff like that. I bet that's pretty amazing, and maybe spring is incredible. Maybe it's all incredible. I don't know, but I was there for fall, and where I live full time, fall has been slow to come. It's stayed warm a lot longer than it normally would, and so a lot of trees just haven't turned yet. And so to suddenly be thrust into the autumnal paradise that Rhinebeck was last weekend was really amazing. Um, all the leaves had turned. The architecture there is goes back to revolutionary days. It's just enchanting. It's beautiful. The people are really friendly, you know. But I couldn't help it. I have no desire to move. I don't want you to get the wrong impression when I say what I'm saying. But it's like I kept thinking, it's like, I wonder what it's like to live here. I wonder what it's like to live here. What is it like to live here? And I asked a few people. A couple of them were like very forthcoming. A couple of them seemed like it was a weird question, and I don't think they really wanted to answer me with anything but generalities. Um, but I think it's just my undying curiosity about everything. One of the things that I talked about in at Omega is what I'm calling my introspection addiction. And I'm really, really into introspection and understanding yourself and understanding your motives and understanding what creates an impulse for you to do one thing over another. And so as I walked through Rhinebeck, and I will pause to say that the thing that I wanted most in that moment in Rhinebeck was a bicycle, because it's not big. It's like I Googled it. It's like 42 square miles. It has 7,800 people in it, I think. Um, and so it's really tiny, but it's just so charming. And I love to go on bike rides because I don't want to go on a car ride, because then it's you have to focus on driving and you miss so much. Walking's too slow, you don't get as far. Although I love walking, a bicycle would have been just right, because it's like I could have seen more, been on back roads where there's not a lot of traffic. I wouldn't have had to pay it a lot of attention. Um, but I just kept thinking to myself, and no offense to anybody that lives in a small town, but I just kept thinking to myself, it's like 7,800 people, charming. I kept looking around the corner thinking that Hallmark was shooting a movie just around the corner. I was certain of it. I was certain I was going to walk into the hardware store and there'd be a lumberjack behind the counter who looked at me dreamily. That did not happen. Um, but I just kept feeling like, okay, so is this an exceedingly comforting place to live, or would it feel extremely suffocating to live in a town that small? and and I didn't come up with any answers per se. I don't think I could live in a town that small, but it just made me wonder. It's like, why do we live where we live? What creates a sense of importance for us? A lot of you know I moved away. It's like I left my beloved Denver to move away to Southern California, only to find out that I was a fish out of water. It just did not work for me. I was so isolated and just did not fit the vibe of the place. And and so coming back to what I consider to be home, which is Denver, you know, coming back home for me was this sense of, right, I fit here. This is where I belong. This is my vibe. This is where people love me in large, relatively large quantities of people, where I have support, where I have people who are there that if I need anything, they'll drop what they're doing and come to me. And I'm sure that if you live in a small town and you've lived there a really long time, and maybe you even grew up there, that it's like you have that same sort of thing. And so that's the vibe you're used to. It's a vibe you're accustomed to. Um, but it was just fascinating. Omega itself was fantastic. I was there with Dougal Fraser and John Holland and Maureen Hancock, and it was just really lovely on campus. I'd say a solid 80% of the people who were there had never set foot on Omega's grounds before. And so it was really amazing that we had so many people who were newbies. And, and so it was a wonderful experience, and I'm really glad I had it. But the star of the show was Rhinebeck, New York. So why do you live where you live? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about developing an introspection addiction? So let's talk about the Angelic Weather Report. It's for November 10th through the 16th. We are using my just dropped angel affirmation cards. Thanks for making it a #1 new bestseller. I appreciate that a lot. And these are affirmation cards, okay? So these are cards that help us to correct our thoughts, to fix our stories, to help us to be able to get our brains wired correctly for using the law of attraction to create the reality that we wish to have in our lives. And so each one of these cards has 2 affirmations on them. Think of affirmations as mini mantras, little bitty mantras. And so you can use those affirmations separately, or you can use them together. You can do whatever you want. But I've pulled 5 cards for you, 5 cards: a card for your career, a card for prosperity and abundance, which are not necessarily the same, a card for relationships, a card for health, and a card for spirituality. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first card is the card for career. So each card has the 2 mantras on front, and on the back, it has the archangel or guardian angel or special projects kind of angel who has channeled these messages for you. And this one comes from Archangel Jeremiah, whose name means the mercy of God. And so when it comes to your career, it says, I release the past with gratitude and forgiveness. So let me say that again. I release the past with gratitude and forgiveness, and I joyfully create the future of my dreams. I joyfully create the future of my dreams. For me personally, this couldn't be more spot on, as my company is going through a few transitions right now. They're really great. It's necessary, it's needed, it's healthy, but it's like, it makes perfect sense. I release the past with gratitude and forgiveness, and I joyfully create the future of my dreams. And on the back, there's a message from Jeremiah, and it says, call upon me, the mercy of God, for forgiveness, so you can move forward and make choices that are uninhibited by the past. The next card is a card that is about abundance and prosperity. Now, this is not necessarily the same as your career, right? So this card says, well, first of all, it comes from Archangel Ariel, which is perfect because she's the archangel it's this one right here, the archangel of abundance and prosperity, among other things. And this message says, abundance flows effortlessly into my life. Abundance flows effortlessly into my life. It is natural for me to thrive. It is natural for me to thrive. And the message from Ariel says, call upon me, the archangel of manifestation, to bring abundance and prosperity into your life. If you're concerned about relationships, here's a card that I pulled that is also from Archangel Ariel. And it says, I stand in my power and courage. I stand in my power and courage, and I embrace the limitless possibilities that await me. So if your concern is about relationships, maybe it's finding a relationship of one kind or another. You need more friends, you want something romantic. Maybe one of your relationships is severely challenged and you're having to deal with that. It's saying stand in your power and courage and embrace the limitless possibilities. Ariel's name means I am the lioness of God, the archangel of strength and courage. Call upon me for the self-confidence to fearlessly face any situation. Any situation. Now, the next card is for health, and this comes from an archangel whose name is Raziel. Raziel. And the messages are, I am a co-creator with the universe. I am a co-creator with the universe. My awareness of divine knowledge is constantly expanding, constantly expanding. So this card is basically sort of saying we need to expand our knowledge about issues concerning our health in ways that help us to have the ability to co-create a vibrant health that we are looking for. And the message from Raziel says, as the scribe of mystical secrets, I can help you fully understand at a soul level the cosmic principles necessary to manifest a magical life. Finally, for spirituality, I threw the card across the floor, so now I have to pick it up. Okay, I got the card. Scared my dogs to death when I threw it. Okay, so this is from Haniel, which is perfect for spirituality because she is the archangel of psychic gifts and intuition, among other things. And the message says, I completely trust my intuition. I completely trust my intuition. I follow my guidance with excitement and confidence. I follow my guidance with excitement and confidence. And the message from Haniel says, I am the archangel of intuitive gifts. Allow me to mentor you in embracing your psychic awareness. So now I'm going to take these cards as I do each week, and I'm going to put them back into the deck because I want to allow for those cards to be able to come back up for your personal reading for this week from me. So I want you to take a moment and to think about a question that's on your mind, something where you're feeling challenged, because we're going to ask the cards to give you affirmations like mini mantras that support whatever it is that you're wanting to create or getting out of the challenges that you're currently experiencing, or to help you to just plain flat feel better about everything. So think about what that question would be. What topic, what question? Think about that. Focus on that. I'm going to pull 4 cards. So the question becomes, are you drawn to card number 1? Are you drawn to card number 2? Are you drawn to card number 3? Or are you drawn to card number 4? So if you were drawn to card number 1, you have a message from Archangel Zadkiel, and it says, my memory is perfect. I remember everything easily. My memory is perfect. I remember everything easily. And the back of the card says, call upon me, the archangel of memory, when you need to increase your mental abilities, remember facts, or release unhappy memories. Now, card number 2, this is why I put the cards back in the deck. We saw this card earlier. This is that card from Archangel Raziel, and it is back. I am a co-creator with the universe. My awareness of divine knowledge is constantly expanding. And again, the back of that card says, as the scribe of mystical secrets, I can help you fully understand at a soul level the cosmic principles necessary to manifest a magical life. If you felt called to card number 3, you have a message from Archangel Michael. And it says, I release all energetic connections that hold me back. I release all energetic connections that hold me back. I am completely free. I am completely free. And the message from Michael says, call upon my sword of divine light to sever unwanted energetic connections around you, freeing you to be your true, perfect, unique self. And finally, if you are called to card number 4, you've gotten a message from the life purpose angels, the life purpose angels. And this message says, I am clear and focused on my life purpose. I confidently move forward towards my destiny. I am clear and focused on my life purpose. I confidently move forward towards my destiny. And the message from the life purpose angel says, we can help you gain clarity on your purpose and guide you to move confidently and swiftly in the right direction. So there you have it. That's your angelic weather report for November 10th through the 16th. I hope wherever you are that you are enjoying the time of this impending holiday season and that you are having beautiful weather like I had in Rhinebeck, New York last week. In the meantime, you guys take care and I will talk to you again next week.